Now let's call on the starters for PGJC Navy. Starting off with their team captain, number 16, apprentice seaman, Gregorio Dolor. At number 1, Marvin Villanueva. Jersey number 12, Jemmy Antig. At number 17, seaman first class, Wilbert Sapida. Wearing jersey number 20, Christian Marcelino. At 24, Owen Suarez. Starting libero is number 3, Christian Celis. Head coach is PO3 Cecil Cruzada. Introducing the starting lineup for Philippine Air Force. Starting off with their team captain, number 17, Airman Second Class, Jesse Lopez. At number 1, Ralph Calasi. Wearing jersey number 7, Airman First Class, Rodolfo Labrador. At number 11, Airman First Class, Al Nakran Abdila. Wearing jersey number 13, Second Lieutenant Mike Abria. Wearing jersey number 18, Airman First Class, Edwin Tolentino. Libero is number 8, Sergeant Renz Melgar. Head coach, Technical Sergeant Jimson Merza. This is match number 30 of the preliminary rounds between PGJC Navy.
Just about ready to get the serve underway. And Neil, your thoughts about the starting lineups?
Well, for now, for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, they will be relying heavily on Greg Dolor and Christian Marcelino to bring in that firepower, lalo na nawala si Jude Garcia, and that's a big loss really. But with the players on the floor right now, I know that they can provide and contribute to their cause. And on the other hand, for the Philippine Air Force, a lot of big stars in that starting unit.
Okay.
Former champions in the UAAP, and itong Philippine Air Force, again, they've had multiple finals appearances already in the Spikers turf, so we're really not used to seeing them in the bottom half of the standings.
Exactly, and some of our coaches actually came from this team as well. And we are just about ready to put the ball into play. And Jesse Lopez, one of the members of the silver medal winning team in the SEA Games for the Philippine team, gets us underway. First attack is a gentle touch. Marcelino taking care of matters.
It's all about starting with a good point. That's exactly what they got.
And the serve changes hands. Marcelino will be firing away. Jesse Lopez with the first set. The strike, it looks long, it's out.
That's back-to-back points for the Sea Lions. Again, there were a lot of games for the Philippine Air Force that they could have won it, pero nabibitin lang sa dulo.
Merong ganun eh, di ba? Hindi mo makita yung... And walang time ang volleyball. Hanggang score eh. Hanggat buhay ang score, may pag-asa yung kabilang side. Jesse with a good set. And that's not a problem for Kalasin.
This is also one of the new things that I'm seeing in the Philippine Air Force. Ang original position talaga ni Labrador would be middle blocker position, but since Ralph Calasin is there, he is now occupying that left or right pin in several rotations.
Okay. The serve in play, we are at 2 against 1. Gentle touch, no problem.
Philippine Air Force, they're asking for an overreaching violation. They're claiming that the ball was already on their court
Nung inabot, ano?
Nung inabot, but again, it will not be granted. That point will remain with the Sea Lions.
And it's not one of the challenge points.
Yep. You only have 6 challenge points. So yung mga non-challengeable calls, it's really going to be the judgment of the first referee.
You just have to accept certain calls and make the adjustments. And the Sandman takes care of business, knocking that down.
Sometimes it actually gets confusing when you're coming off training from beach volleyball, then you go directly to an indoor game, mag-iiba yung footwork. So that's something na minaster na rin ni Ranran Abdilla.
And you have 5 other people that you have to contend with. In the meantime, That is not a problem on the strike for Tig and Tig.
Owen Suarez, also one of the newest additions here para sa Sea Lions. Former Signal HD Spiker.
Nagbago ang signal, no? Ang daming umalis, ang daming nagbago during the off-season ng ating tournament. It's in the air. Hindi na tanganan ni Marcelino ang banat ni Abdilia.
Quick 2 points for Ranran Abdilia, and since he's playing in the sand courts, mas lumalawak yung court sense and mas nagiging madiskarte sila every
Yes.
time they make these hits.
You know, it might be not a significant thing, but I think yung sa labas ka tapos bilang aircon sa loob, the environment suddenly changes. The Navy is ahead by 2.
Power hit from Greg Dolor, just above all the blockers in that instance.
And it's now 5-3 as the Navy obtains the serve. And down the line it goes. Abdilia sent it airborne. Strikes. Rejected.
3-man block. It was definitely an out-of-system play. The Sea Lions recognizing that bump set of Jesse Lopez to that left wing. No entry, says PGJC
No,
Navy.
no, not at all. In the meantime, the serve.
And you'll notice, partner, every time they establish a triple block, it's really organized. Ganun talaga ang labanan in the men's division. Organized and synchronized blocking.
In practice, you work on that, I suppose.
Yeah, there are a lot of drills that we do that. Even in the warm-ups before the start of every game, in double the man block, 3-man block, it's all part of the program of these squads.
Here's the set. And a strike is on target. Marcelino knocks it down of the great set by Suarez.
Unfazed by the 3-man block, this time set up by the Philippine Air Force. Look at that, perfect 3-man block, swing block by the airmen, but still above the blockers.
The reverse set. There is a net touch, I believe.
Bonus point papunta sa Philippine Air Force. And for the airmen, they do have to start out strong in the past few games. Medyo mabagal yung simula, and they've committed more errors compared to their opponents. So
I guess,
that's also one thing.
That's very valid, especially with the tournament. You're having less and less games. You can no longer say, let's play into the tournament and hope things get better. You just have to work on it, on training, and key it up right away.
And this is only a single round robin
That's
format.
true. That's
and,
true.
Isang beses mo lang makakaharap yung mga teams.
And Navy playing with some passion here in the first set. They are in the lead by 2. We shall return.
Welcome back to the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. Now for the Philippine Air Force Airmen, their 4-day break was a big challenge for the team. Their trainings have not been complete dahil marami daw sa kanila nagka-flu. And one for which will not be seeing action today, their service specialist Arvin Avila. Alongside Arvin, Nino Jeros and Ruben Inaudito will also not be playing today due to injuries they've acquired in their last game. Now with this, head coach Jimson Merza had many position adjustments coming to today's game. So according to coach, it's possible that his team will not be 100% comfortable in their place. Back to you, Sev and Neil.
And definitely so hard to manage a team when you're incomplete. 9-6 is the count. It becomes 9-7 after that hit.
Labrador coming in hot from the back row. Dito mo rin makikita yung IQ ng mga players natin on the floor. Kahit anong position sila ilagay, they can really adjust.
Actually, you know, you're so right. Kung minsan, nung bago pa yung mga middle blocker utility, everybody had to play all the positions actually. Even kung minsan, converted center. What a block!
A lot of three-man blocking patterns we're seeing right now in this first set. It just goes to show that they've been reading the setters well.
That was a combination of trifecta of blockers. In the meantime, the set, well done. Magaling mag-set itong si Suarez.
And that's the goal of the setter, to be able to give a single blocker at the least dun sa attacker niya, or even a free block.
Our count currently is 10-8. Here's Marcelina, looks wayward, but it managed to sail right in the air. Kalasin tapped it over. It becomes a set. The strike, out of reach. Excellent blast by Dodong Villanueva.
Now Owen Suarez just distributing the ball well, trying to give touches to all of the attackers right now. Of course, you don't want to be Dolor-centric or Marcelino-centric.
And tapos at a certain point, aangal yan. Oh, ano po? Ba't ako walang bola? In the meantime, that sails in, and that'll make the count 12-8 now.
Marcelino continuing to score for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions.
Well, try to listen in and sneak into this timeout by the Air Force.
Jump serve, yung ano natin. So, ang mangat na muna kayo dito, mahaba yung ginibigay na jump serve. One stop lang muna natin. Lumayo na sa 4, oh. Yeah? Isang magandang pasa lang, patayin na kagad natin. Okay? Tapos, Ralph, pagka binigyan ka, kung hindi ka paluin, diin mo yung drop ball. Huwag tayo mag-drop ball na parang babae. Makukuha at makukuha yan. Di mo na lang kung di kaya. Okay? Tara. Let's go!
Dave! 12-8 is the count. The Air Force has fallen behind here against the Men of the Seas. And you're still in the first set of this, just the first battle here today. When, you know, when things go wrong, kuminsan, just a simple reminder, one good pass just works. Can't complicate your timeouts, actually. Here comes Jesse's set. And the connection clearly done with Tolentino.
Former champion in the UAAP for National University, and he's been really used to these combination plays, and magkasama na sila matagal ni Jesse Lopez, so connection definitely.
I don't want to mention his nickname, Toyo. I'm sure it's a name that came out of being together for a while. It's in play. It is handled well. Villanueva attacks and finds the angle.
That lefty just going to that deep cross-court angle.
Watch this.
Avoiding the hands of Ralph Calasin.
Full swing, you know? Full swing. 13-9. Usually pag full swing, hataw yan. Pag half swing, kakatchat yan. In play. Calasin got to it. Here comes Abdilia. He's short.
That was just too high of a set for Ranan Abdilia, and it was far from his usual position.
And there lies some of the differences between indoor and beach volleyball. You don't have that much running space. Excuse me, kasi lulubog ka din sa sand.
Yeah. And in beach volleyball, it's all about control. Hindi masyadong mataas yung set na ibinibigay, because there are a lot of factors that come with the game. I mean, the sun, yung hangin, so it's a different sport.
Your fatigue is altogether different when you play beach volleyball, and we learned that in our Subic coverage, of course. In the meantime, here's Calasin. Ralph's shot is in play. Marcelino got to it. This is well run, and Tig takes care of business.
Good sign really for PGJC Navy. Everybody on point right now. They're contributing on offense, and the defense also getting good rebounds.
And they have a good rhythm going. You can sense the Air Force not being as together here in the first set. They're fallen behind by 5. Too close to the net. Jesse makes do. And Abdilia gets entangled with the number 24, the setter, Suarez, and they apologize to each other. Watch this.
Single
Bang.
block, no problem for Ranran Abdilia.
Marcelino, Suarez in play. Villanueva reset the offense. It's off the block. Hindi kumakapit yung block ni Abria. And we're going to take a short break as we hit the second technical timeout mark.
Dito, Jesse, tibay na lang sa likod sa depensa doon. Okay? Yun lang. Kaso kasi, ang nangyayari, kinakamay lang yung service natin. Gawin naman natin, kargahan natin to sa dulo. All out nyo na lang sige yung service ninyo. Diba? Karga ng service, karga ng service. Madali lang, kinakamay lang nila yung service natin eh. Layo pa yun, 5 lang yan. Tara, tara, tara.
5 lang. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hindi na pa nakakapalo sa'yo ng...
You're still watching the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. Now for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, one thing that head coach Cecil Cruzada did before this game was challenge her team. And her challenge is per service error, may extra sprint daw yan. And actually, she instilled this in one of their trainings and nakita niya na umiba talaga yung energy, yung aggressiveness, and communication nila because that's how much they want their serves to come in. Back to you, Seven Neil.
I would play for that woman.
Rewards and punishment.
Diba?
It usually
I would play
works
for that
really.
woman. She's such an astute student of the game. Yeah, I remember this. And when we did the PNBF parang National Open natin, she was watching many of the games. Kahit wala yung team niya, she would watch the game, and part of the learning curve of coaches. You know? Let's give you the score. It's 17-12, a 5-point lead by the Navy, which has controlled the most part of this match so far. Here's Abdilia. Bullet handled well that time by Celis. It's off the blockers. They run into their attack position. Pipeline attack. And it does not. Yeah, it's outside.
It hit the tape of the net before it went out of bounds. Abdilia apologizes for that mistake, but now Navy is just leading by 6.
And Tig serving. Jesse Lopez with the set. And the shot by Tolentino.
He has been the highest efficiency attacker here in the first set for the Philippine Air Force, and that might be a good sign for Jesse Lopez to give more sets.
Maybe, no?
Papunta kay Tolentino. And for the Sea Lions, they have been doing well also on offense. They've been challenging the blocking system of the Philippine Air Force. And there will be a net violation called on one of the middle blockers.
It's a miss, and I think si Coach Merce, hindi pa niya alam sa kanila ang point. Now he knows. 18-14 tally here. 14 serving against 18. In play. Celis got to it. High and out.
Wanted to target that corner pocket.
Tempting ba yan, Neil? Paglipad mo, kita mo yun.
Especially for high leapers, iba yung vision nila dun sa court. Nakikita nila kung saan nila pwedeng palapagin yung bola.
The human drones. Reverse. Ooh, well done.
Greg Dolor. Where power meets passion. I think he's the perfect example.
If we have our editors here, we'll find one that means the theme of this conference. That is exactly right, Neil, about that. 19-15 tally here. Uh-oh. Look problematic, but they may do. Villanueva dinks it over and knocks it in.
Such a smart move from Villanueva. Going for that full swing first. And last second,
Ayun.
going for that drop ball. It was a bit high pa nga eh.
And he had time. He had time. He took a picture of the other side before he dropped it in. And that was Dodong Villanueva. Timeout the moment.
Pwede naman mag-set play. Basta pasa muna. Unahin muna natin yung basa. May basa naman.
Masyadong malayo yung depensa mo. Nandito ka na sa banda rito. Kaya yung drop ball medyo malayo. Nandito lang tayo sa kalahati lang. Kalahati lang. Hindi naman makakapalo ng malakas.
You know, one thing I have to agree with you of the point you made. The energy of the Navy is a lot different to the Air Force. It is this kind of situation where hindi nag-uusap eh, no? They have to lighten up and perhaps communicate better. This is the Air Force. Let's see how they do it here. Naalangan si Jesse Lopez doon. Had to make do.
And they just have to enjoy this match.
Sabi ni Jesse, hinulog. Binalik agad.
Nagkakagulo yung airmen in that instance. Labrador tried to go for a proper approach on that pipe attack, but looks like he got bothered with the height of that set.
And Sabida with a accurate attack and nowhere to go. All dressed up was Tolentino and he had nowhere, no transportation, walang grab.
Again, that's where perfect passes come into play. If you have a perfect pass, it will be easier for the center to actually fool the blockers of your opponent. And right now, the blocking of Navy is just kicking in.
It is intact.
Very tight blocking for the Sea Lions.
Off the block, Abdilia Lopez. Tolentino sees an empty space, but I think there might be a net touch.
It's a free point. Papunta sa Philippine Air Force. There was indeed a net touch from Villanueva.
And the Navy trying to tiptoe towards the finish of this first set. Jesse Lopez and his serve. Salas keeps it afloat. The set by Suarez. Abdilia got to it. Here comes the attack. Calasin's shot is managed well. Cut shot by Marcelino. In the air we go. Bang, bang, bang. Tolentino knocking it in.
Just all business here in set number one. He's really asking for that ball from Jesse Lopez.
Parang ano, no? You can sense yung muso ni Tolentino siya. Taas mo, taas mo.
Look at that. Full arm swing, full extension, all power from Tolentino.
You probably won't appreciate it as much in slow-mo kasi hindi nga real time, but it's still alive. It has to be tossed over.
That was already a chance ball for the Philippine Air Force, but positioning was off and feet were already planted on the floor.
And we have the Navy 2 points away from pocketing this first set. Here's Marcelino, all set to serve. That's inside, clear as day, and we arrive at set point.
All skill departments, definitely Navy has that advantage here in set number one. So we won't be surprised by the numbers when we check it out coming into set number two.
If there was a number on energy and temperature, probably Navy would also get the nod in those particular stats. In the meantime, the attack, clean as day. They found the open space. Tolentino makes a delivery.
Keeps on working, but now he will
go to the back row.
And there will be a substitution. Beno Cancheta, also a setter, a service specialist. You can also use him as a defensive specialist.
(24-18) is the official score. Does the Navy close the deal? No, they don't yet. Abdilia. And there is the signing of the contract for this first set.
A lot of monster blocks coming from the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. And yan yung sinasabi nating energy looking for win number 2.
And both these teams with only one win apiece in the tournament so far. And as my partner Neil Flores says, they're looking for the second. Yan po ang ating score nang matapos ang ating first set. The Navy pocketing it 25-18. What do the stats so far reveal? Yung sinabi mong most likely. We'll go to the stats but first some choice cuts.
Well, we thought that magkakaroon ng advantage ng konti itong Philippine Air Force dahil wala nga si Jude Garcia for the Philippine Navy. But in this first set, I mean, the Sea Lions just really dominated that net, and they also were able to control the serve. They had a couple of service aces. Yeah. Their digging was there. Their blocking was there. Again, it was a really great performance. And for the Philippine Air Force, they just really need to boost, first of all, their energy, and they need to communicate better and try to convert more on their offense. 15 attacks for the Philippine Navy, but look at the defense of the Sea Lions in set number 1. 3 more blocks compared to the Air Force. And the good thing about that first set lang is that we saw a lot of quality exchanges. It was purely effort on both of the teams dahil konti lang yung unforced errors, and that's what makes this game very exciting.
And you're just in time to join us for the second set. If you missed us in the first set, it was taken by the Navy with a count of 25-18. Both these teams so far with just one win in their scheduled games thus far. Keep in mind, in the eventual trip towards the playoffs into the next round, only 4 teams out of the 11 will move forward. In the meantime, the serve now belongs to the Navy. Suarez with the serve. If you were to improve on something for the Air Force, and if you were to mention 1 or 2 things, what would you address here in the second set?
Well, in the first set, napansin ko lang that most of the sets of Jesse Lopez has been going to the left or the right wing or the pipe attack. Walang masyadong activation from the middle.
Good point, yeah.
But that's primarily because hindi rin masyadong umaabot yung first pass sa harapan ng setter. So it's very difficult na ipilit yung mga out-of-system plays papunta sa middle blockers. That's why it was also easier for the Sea Lions to actually set up their defense.
Wala nga masyadong quick, ano? Nanggaling sa Air Force nung ating first set. We're tied at 1. Valentino is foiled. Door is locked. Dolor kept in play.
And that was the right hit to make for Labrador. He already saw 4 hands nasa harapan niya, just hitting it off the blockers. Good check out from Labrador.
So
he flashes that smile after kasi alam niya na yun yung gusto niyang gawin in that rally.
And the Air Force, Neil, has their first taste of the lead. The serve is wayward. We're now tied at 2.
And these teams also on the floor, they also do their scouting. And as you mentioned a while ago, si Coach Cecil Cruzada just watches all of the other teams. Kaya they come in prepared. I'm sure one of their game plan talaga is to lock down on Ranran Abdilia because he was the top scorer in their previous outing, 25 big points. But now medyo quiet pa si Abdilia.
And they return play. Kalasin got it to bite, and they now have a 1-point lead, 3-2.
That was a good quick attack from the Airmen. Yun yung hinahanap natin in set number 1.
Yeah.
And that's the natural position of Labrador. So he's very comfortable in approaching for different quick attacks. But they give that point back to the Philippine Navy after that service error.
Parang ganun lang, ang bilis. Nakuha mo yung point, mabilis lang pagka nagsala ka sa serve mo. In the meantime, there's a set. Oh, open spot. And Jesse may have hurt himself a tad. Pinapagpag niya ngayon yung kanyang right leg. We have it at 4-3. The Air Force slightly ahead here. Labrador serve in play. Dolor.
Sam Sarmenta with an excellent dig.
Yeah. It's just not a scoring point. All the way, direct. Daya, oh. Minsan lang ako didig ng bola eh. Hindi pa makukunan. Ano ba naman? Walang kakwenta-kwenta cameraman yan, oh. Si Ramir na naman ba yun?
Now, Ranran Abdilia is starting to heat up here in set number 2. And matagal ng partners itong si Ranran Abdilia and Jesse Lopez. They're also partners in beach volleyball. So, wala nang problema talaga. Jesse Lopez knows the sets that he prefers.
I'm sure they've been roommates as well. Oh, great dive to the floor that time by Melgar. And there's a gaping hole right there.
Air Force with a 2-point lead. Suarez actually saw that spin ball already. Pero that's the thing. You have to commit all the way. Hindi pwedeng last minute. You will retract your decision to actually pick up that first ball.
Huwag kang cha-cha rito. Hindi ka pwedeng atras sa bounty rito. Nice reversal. That punches through.
Serves up a facial from that block rebound.
FEU pa lang ito. Lethal na ito. How many of these guys you played against? Marami, no?
Yeah.
kaya kumakaway sa'yo pagka bago tayo mag-umpisa. 6-5 ang count natin. Abdilia sent it airborne.
Ooh, another soft cut shot from the Airmen unanswered by Philippine Navy.
He had all day to do that. I saw that gap as well. He changed his mind. The set was too far away. He could not attack it. If he blasted away, it would have been blocked actually.
And siguro napapansin ng Philippine Air Force na kanina pa hindi gumagana yung power hitting natin kasi we've been checked by the blockers. Let's try to change the direction and speed. Pero walang change whatsoever dun sa pipe attack ni Greg Dolor.
Minsan, pag you played against these guys too many times, you know they're like a storm. It's coming, but sometimes you can't stop it. Excellent elevation. Here comes Marcelino levitating. Jesse Lopez says, Tabijan. Good pick up that time by Villanueva. It's close. Regalo, airborne. Becomes a set. Marcelino connects.
Great hustle from the Philippine Navy. Now we're tied at 7-all.
You know, Neil, napapansin ko sa Air Force, Jesse Lopez has been pushing away everybody about 2 or 3 times on the second ball, which should be the setter's ball, actually.
Yeah, sometimes pag nagkakagulo nga, then nagkakaroon ng confusion.
Neil Flores scores his own point of a very gentle tap, and that'll bring us to 8-7. The Navy overtakes the Air Force. We're at 8-7. Technical timeout.
3-man block tayo.
Ayun, kay Jesse yung dumaan yung bola.
Tama dito.
Mahina na yun.
Yun o.
Oo.
Hindi lang kinuha.
Sa'yo yun?
Hindi, nasa likod siya. Oo,
Oo,
dito.
Hindi, kanina ba? Akala ko kukunin niya. Sige, sige. Bukas talaga niya.
Oh, one stop tayo, ha? One stop tayo. Oh, tara, tara. Banat. One stop.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. Now, I want to talk about the two veterans of the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, Christian Marcelino and Greg Dolor. Now, actually, we all know that Marcelino may have had a good game in the last game, but head coach Cecil Cruzada actually spoke to him and Dolor after. The two admitted na medyo tahimik daw sila in the last game. Di sila nagsasalita, and this actually affected the whole team's aura. They mentioned na minsan nakakalimutan daw nila na veterano sila, especially when they have a lot on their minds, but today, babawi daw sila and they will definitely lead the team. Back to you, 7 Neil.
Ay nako, mga volleyball coach talaga. Pagka tumahimik, hindi sila pwede magtrabaho sa library. Bigla na lang pag tumatahimik, parang may feeling nila may problema. No? Kasi kung minsan you tense up when something is amiss or goes wrong. In the meantime, this attack handled well. And it will be a long free ball as the liberos attack each other. Oh, gap! Alasin finding the donut.
Perfect set from Jesse Lopez. And setters usually control the tempo of your transition attack. Look at that. Na-late na si Greg Dolor for that block.
After a avalanche or a plethora of open sets, he's now going a little more to the middle and doing a little more quicks this time. In the air, Dolor soaring but not scoring. Lopez reverses. It is long and out.
But there was a net violation called on Greg Dolor, so that would be a point for the Philippine Air Force.
Watch this.
I guess that's the only con na lampas yung mga braso mo sa ibabaw ng net.
Air Force by 1, but now we're tied.
That's the 4th service error already of the Philippine Air Force. And they've been doing so well in attacking the defense of the Navy Sea Lions. And mas stable na ngayon yung passes nila and digging. Kaya mas nadadalian na si Jesse Lopez to actually activate his middle blockers.
So Peter in action on sir. That's blocked. Kept in play by Melgar. Big shot.
Great coverage for Renz Melgar. One of the newest additions also to the Airmen.
Alam mo, nung araw before we had professional sports, the normal journey of college players was to go to the military teams. Either they become enlisted men or women. So to keep on playing, actually. Oh! From the middle!
It's really combination play against combination play for these two setters. Owen Suarez fishing out the middle blocker. And yun yung nangyayari. Pag nakaangat na yung middle blocker, papaluin na bigla nung kukombinasyon dun sa gitna.
Kita mo no? And Villanueva making that clean connection. One-handed set. Akala ko ikukunin on 2. This one, yes! And big.
And the Philippine Navy will regain that 1-point lead here, the second set. Backpedal, transition to that A-quick attack.
The Air Force had flames with the lead. They led by as much as 2 points.
Footwork is very crucial for middle blockers because they catch up a lot to the opposite sides of the court.
Yes.
And they also have to approach for that quick attack. And ang tempo nila, kailangan mabilis kasi if
Ako hindi, huli.
mag-lag sila behind, mahuhuli yung combination play.
It's set and Tig. It's in the air. Lopez gets it. Option changed. Still in play. Suarez got to it. Dolor. Alive. And out of reach.
A slam dunk by Abria. Great anticipation. Now you're seeing the airmen smile.
They're lighting
They're
up.
playing
Yeah,
loose.
exactly.
And they're really enjoying this second set.
And they're currently leading this second set by the slightest margin, 13 to 12. It's in the air. Dolor fires and gets it to bite.
Familiarity definitely still there for Suarez and Dolor. Two former FEU Tamaraws conniving for that point.
What a history of great volleyball runs by the Far Eastern University. Long before Ateneo and UP got going, it's really FEU. In the air we go. Marcelino, it's returned to sender. They reset the offense. And it's high up and out. We've got good exchanges here between the two sides.
Better showing for both these teams here in the second set. Everything was happening so fast, Marcelino wasn't able to go for a proper approach.
Abdilia, his serve nips the net and still in play. Marcelino uncorks, it is neutralized. This one is handled well. It's in the hands of Suarez from the back row and out of reach. Lively action.
Greg Dolor once again off that pipe attack.
Mahirap bang gawin yung fight?
Actually, that's one of the newest additions to the gameplay sa men's division. Before, hindi mo masyadong makikita yung pipe attack. It's used for emergency purposes. But now, it's actually the first option of attack for their best scorers.
You know, I understand many of the 1-2. Suarez knocks it in. I understand when the European teams do it because they're so much taller. Dalawang hakbang lang nasa area na sila eh. And pipe attacks in the Olympics and the World Championships and the BNL, just ordinary.
And yung mga pipe attacks, para siyang quick attack sa likod.
Correct,
Sobrang bilis
correct.
din nangyayari. I mean, the likes of sila Brian Bagunas, Mark Espejo, mas deadly pa yung back row attack paminsan compared to the front row.
And that's in. And Marcelino and Villanueva look at each other and say, ikaw, ako, wala tayo ron.
Sneaky hit
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Tolentino. That's usually the zone of the left wing spiker, yung deep cross court.
Tabla po tayo sa 15. Pace of the game has kicked up several notches. That's not going to cross over. Marcelino got under the ball there. We are at the second technical timeout, and we'll have you back with us here at the Spikers Turf in Paco just after these messages.
Yes, dalawa spiker. Kayo, pag nakita mo yung receive ng kalaban maganda, nasa harap ng setter, sabayan mo lang setter, mahilig mag-drop ball eh. Di ba? At least nag-attempt ka, ma-intimidate din na mag-drop ball. Ha? Two spikers.
Half jump lang.
Nasa harap ka. Bantayan mo. Okay? Yung mga double-locks dito ha, sa open, nandito ibibigay yan.
Block natin.
Sunday and volleyball, why not? A great combination as we welcome you and you to the Paco Arena, the home of the Spikers Turf. And we are into our open conference. This current battle between the Air Force, which is the team in blue on the left side of your picture, up against the Navy. They are in the light-colored uniforms. Here comes the set by Suarez. It's off the block and still alive. Long dig, might be short. No, they make do with it. Here comes the set. Oh, whip! Marcelino using some crafty moves with his hands there.
Power tip from Marcelino. Kanina he was a bit off timing in the previous rallies, but this time he saw that hole behind the blockers. going above the block of Jesse Lopez.
Marcelino with 7 points. It's Dolor with the most points with 10. Valentino is the leading scorer on the other side with 8. Abdilia has 7. 17-16. You saw Coach Cecil Cruzado say it was out. Yes, it is. And the Navy leads by 1. Melgar. That's solid.
That's just really experience for you. Talking about Tolentino. Very quick adjustment mid-air. He can hit that line, he can hit that cross.
It's a split-second decision that you hone in training and practice. In the meantime, the Navy is back in the lead, 18-17. They're now beginning their usual tiptoe towards the end. In case you missed us in the first set, it was 25-18 in favor of the Navy.
That was already the 5th unforced error from the Philippine Air Force. So, madami na.
Plus a little too many. Off the block, and there's a whistle. Net touch.
Will be called on
Air Force.
Tolentino.
Yes.
That will bring the lead to 2 for the Sea Lions.
Alam mo yung net touch, sometimes you have no idea you actually did it. No? You know? Very slight lang. Pero umaalog yung net eh.
It was a net violation.
Yeah,
and they didn't challenge that.
Yeah,
so I think the coaching staff saw.
If I'm correct, I don't think the challenge is in effect today. I think it's not functioning today. Huh? In the meantime, 19-18 tally here. The Navy is in the lead. Navy, but wait, Ancheta returns to the fray, pulling out Tolentino. In play, Dolor nearly bungled that, uncorks. Here comes a set from Lopez. That's blocked, and it's out.
Smart move from Ran Abdilia. Showing us his beach volleyball moves. Going for that hit out. Such a close second set.
Yeah, it's anybody's set. It's currently knotted at 19. To the other end. Oh! It's brushed.
Does the same thing.
Yeah. It's brushed against the blocker.
Pagulong will be coming in for the serve. Former VNS Griffin, now with the Sea Lions.
Yeah, Paige Pagulong. That's a hard job. You're coming off the bench. And then, you know, I know you got to keep loose. Yeah. Got to be, continue to perspire, but that's also hard. That is blocked at the net. Uncorked and delivered upon.
Ran Abdilia just rips that through the defense of Pagulong. Unable to pick it up. And that set was far from the net.
Oh, malayo.
But he was still able to deliver that killer of a blow.
Ooh, very deceptive serve, huh? It looked like it was going out, actually. Coach Cecil will ask for a timeout.
Kasi kayo nagsasalita. Ang bagal lang ng bola, oh. Ang bagal ng bola, supposed to be chance ball siya. Bakit tayo yung magsalita? Ha? Okay ngayon ha. One good receive, running ka intake. Ha, kuha ka ng block. Pag-open dito kay Greg, bigay mo ha. Ha? Sigo tayo.
Let's go! Kukunin natin yan ha. Go!
I love how she coaches. Very direct to the point. Technical also. Asking for a slide attack from one of her middle blockers rather. Then pag na-open up nga itong si Greg Dolor, that will be easy pickings for him. And communication is always key when you're getting that first pass. You always have to call for that ball. Kaya nga lagi sinasabi sa volleyball, laging mine, walang yours.
Yes, it's a greedy sport. Tough set, but Delor capitalizing and delivering.
At nasunod naman yung time out ni Coach Cecil Cruzada.
Gusto ko yung swat dito doon. Yung alam niyo magaling siya.
And he can back it up with the numbers.
Hindi nga maganda eh.
His performance every time.
Saka, ang tuloy, that gives him the confidence. I can beat any block you throw against me. Oh, yes sir! A bullet!
Now it's really about persistence in the blocking. Kahit na malayo ka na, you really need to make an effort to catch up and close that gap. But sometimes yung middle blockers nasa stun din sa bilis no set kaya hindi sila nakakagalaw. Double substitution for the Philippine Air Force. Petrus de Ocampo and Primo Rueca coming in.
Parang may dalawang Rueca sa kupunan ng Air Force. This is Moy, who is wearing, that's De Ocampo, that's Pitt. Regalo, huli. Long and out. And the Navy knots it together.
Yep, that will be a point for the Philippine Air Force. There was a check ball.
No, check ball pala. No? Kaya pala the score is now 23-21. And now it's the Air Force tiptoeing towards the finish line. Oh, regalo. Muntik nang hindi. Minute. Abilia says yes. Don't worry.
He's still in the front line, so they can get that point back. And that was a good serve from Petrus de Ocampo.
Ang very slight, ano? Iniwasan na talaga, pero gravity ang nag-take over eh. 1 point game.
Porsyentuhan na ang labanan here in the tail end of set number 2. Air Force.
Wouldn't you? To tie it all up.
Double quick there. Very convincing on the side of the airmen.
Alam niyo po, pag sinasabi namin dito porsyento, and it's a value almost exclusively to volleyball. You're going to your best possible way to score. You see that when it's given to Eliza Valdez, for instance, or some of the other big gunners. I would go to Delor all day. But there's a timeout requested by Coach Cecil. Let's try to bring our cameras and our microphones in.
Sige, kukunin natin isang ano na lang. Kuha tayo ng good receive. Combination kawin. Maliit yung blocker mo dito to. Huwag mo nang marin. Paluin mo na sa taas. Kunin mo sa taas.
Pasa mo natin. Pasa mo
ulit. Enjoy. Walang pressure. Walang pressure, pre. Walang pressure.
Double quick rather. Again, very convincing for the airmen. And sometimes decoy lang naman talaga yon to leave that left wing spiker open for that kill.
This is probably the most crucial point of the second set. First set, keep in mind, went to the Navy, 25-18. The Air Force trying to close it all up, saw it all up together to equalize the set count. We've got Signal and BNS getting entangled later on in the day. And Tig unable to make a big strike. This one is high up and out, and we are finding the Navy coming within a point.
At this stage of the set, you really have to go to Edwin Tolentino to close things out. Babalik sila sa regular rotation nila. Jesse Lopez and Labrador will be coming in.
We've got Sapida coming in and replacing Pagulong. Hi, Rami. Not allowed. I think na max out na yata yung number of subs.
That substitution will not be allowed, but still, Air Force is on the receiving end. Jesse Lopez can go for a simple play and go to Tolentino, or he can also go to that pipe attack for Ranran Abdilia.
Oh! Wow. promised myself I wouldn't say wow this season. Watch it again.
That was unexpected. It was practically a free ball for the Philippine Air Force to set up their first attack. And usually sa mga ganyang situation, it's really the libero that should actually get majority of the zones.
Melgar. That's a hard error to live down, you know. Marcelino. Melgar. Pipe attack, and it's on target. And it's the race to lead by 2. Air Force with the first, with another set pointer.
Just Jesse Lopez trusting Ranan Abdilia to get that kill for the airmen.
You had called it. He actually went to that particular option you mentioned. Marcelino unloads. Lopez, same play.
And that's it. Back-to-back points from the back row. Ranan Abdilia just literally asking for that ball, and we were hearing him saying that, give it to me. And he ends it for the Philippine Air Force. We are now tied at 1 set apiece.
I think it's your weekend for lots of volleyball. I noticed. Okay, we'll be right back with more after this. Nagbabalik po ang Spikers Turf for this particular day, and it's a match between the military teams. And we are now knotted at 1 set apiece. So great fight back by the Air Force, and when it was crucial, they scored the big points.
And there were more, kumbaga, mas forceful yung naging attacks ng Air Force in set number 2. Abdilia leading the charge. He now has 14 points in this ball game, followed by Tolentino with 9. And even though they committed more errors in set number 2, especially on that service line, their attacking was just enough to actually overcome these errors. 20 compared to the 13 of the Philippine Navy. And in set number 1, it was really the Philippine Navy taking control of the offense.
True, yeah.
Walang blocks on both ends of the court, but they also had 1 service ace apiece.
Parang walang scoring blocks na nangyari doon, na-neutralize. Nang nag-vary din si Jesse ng kanyang distribution, it percolated and perked up the game of Air Force. And they ooze with confidence. They say, okay, we can score from any point that we want to. I can go to Abdilia, to Tolentino, and even anybody who's available in that second set.
And again, in the last moments of that set, nakikita mo talaga na ginamit na ni Jesse Lopez yung main weapon nila, and that was the pipe attack of Ranan Abdilia. Not taking any chances, no more combination plays, no more quick attacks, just plain and simple setup for the Philippine Air Force.
We welcome you to set number 3. If this goes 4 sets, it's really your weekend. I mean, I can't say. Well, last night you went home a little late, huh? With a 5-setter in the PBL.
Well, as long as the fans are enjoying,
Yeah,
so we invite everybody to come on
always
over.
say for the fans.
And we still have one game after this. It's going to be the Signal HD Spikers going up against the VNS Griffins.
And the Signal HD Spikers are still undefeated. In the meantime, the first point of the third belongs to the people of the air. Lopez, it's usually the setter who starts off the serving. That is full swing by Marcelino.
And they have to regain this kind of energy, talking about the Sea Lions, kasi medyo na-overpower sila in attacking in set number 2.
Marcelino, a bundle of energy. Here we go. And Labrador making a clean connection.
Labrador cutting that block in half. Identifying that seam, late close-up from the middle blocker of the Sea Lions.
Ang liit tong eskinitan dinaanan, no? 2-1 is the count. Air Force slightly up. Tolentino service in play. It's high up and playable. The reverse set. It's long. Oh, but there is...
Inside,
it's inside,
the judge.
It's inside. 2-point lead by the Air Force.
This is how set number 2 started also.
Yes,
Air Force started out with a lead, and then they just continued to run with it.
Let's work with the serve of Edwin Tolentino. Marcelino may have missed that toss. Villanueva's shot neutralized. In play, high up in the air. Hindi naka-atake. Uh-oh, problematic at the net, but they keep it alive and it dies in the water.
Philippine Air Force just continuing to add on to that momentum that they've built in set number 2. Now their serving has been doing really well. Isang serve lang yung na-register ng both squads in set number 2. But yung hindi natin nakikita dun sa statistics, yung pagpapahirap ng mga servers.
Yung service ace na yun, yung dumaan sa gitna ng dalawa, di ba? Yun lang yun.
Yeah.
Eto tayo kay Villanueva. Tinaas ni Melgar. Hindi na itaas uli.
Would have been a great defensive stop for Renz Melgar if that was a point for the airmen, but the PGJC Navy Sea Lions just getting that block. No blocks registered in set number 2.
Joboy serve and play, one hand. Oh, mintis. Nauna talon sa lundag. He took his eye off the ball eh. Kasi feeling niya, oh, I'm okay. But he took his eye off the ball and usually
and maybe he also thought na gagamitin lang siya ni Jesse Lopez
as a fake.
As a fake, as a decoy.
Yung akala talaga, pagbaban natin yun eh, no? Eto, baguhin natin. Abdilia is blocked! Villanueva returns it to sender.
It's all about identifying the stronger angle of your opponent's attackers.
Biglang nag-string together ang Navy ng points, ha? 3 straight. Third set action. Sets are tied, 1 apiece. Short set. And the Navy getting a string of points. 4 straight.
Navy knew it was coming, that back quick attack. Upon the contact pa lang ni Jesse Lopez, they recognized that set. Greg Dolor put a stop to that. And for the Philippine Navy, they play better where every time na sila yung lumalamang.
Yes. Merong team na ganyan eh. High up into the rafter. Ooh. Oh, wicked and dig with an assertive attack.
That's the definition of a zero-tempo quick attack. Yung tipong pataas pa lang yung middle blocker, napalo na nung spiker.
Navy now pocketing 5 straight points. Napako na itong Air Force at 4. Open set. In play. Excellent recovery by the Sea Lions. Abdilia. That's not returning. Parang sabi ni Ranran, take that. Subukan nyo ibalik yan.
High clearance of that swing from Ranran Abdilia.
We have the count at 5, up against 6. Serving is Kalasin. Villanueva. Got a lucky break there.
The mga left-handed opposite spikers, they can really do so much with their angles, and that time may konting tulong sa tape ng net, but still got that point.
Any help will be most welcome. You were saying Jesse goes to Abdilia. It's off and running too long. Gigil.
Yeah. That was an excellent pass in transition to that pipe attack, but couldn't control the power in that hit.
Wala talagang may mga ibang words na wala talagang translation. Gigil. Overexcited. Hindi eh. Eto na. Naiwanan na. And we arrive at the first technical timeout. 8-6. The Navy roaring back after being down by 3 early in the game.
Ikaw, pasok mo muna, Tigana, sa atin ang momentum, ha. Pasok muna. Ugani.
Hindi, si Kuya Greg na service. Greg muna.
Guys, hindi talaga natin nakukuha yung palo nilang haba. Malambot lang naman. Harapan natin.
Yung sinabi ni Coach na sa line, swipe na lang yun.
Pag bumalo, tapos ramdam yung check ball, parang yung masayang yung yung challenge. Ikaw nyo na check ball, tapos tumakas na yung
Guys, tuloy na. Tuloy na.
Welcome back to the Spiker Surf 2023 Open Conference. Now, the reason to the Philippine Air Force's first set loss was purely their energy, which was caused by their errors. Sabi ni Head Coach Jimson Merza in the huddle na masyado daw nila idinidibdib yung errors, which affects their confidence, which is already a problem. But in our second set, mas nag-enjoy na sila. Finally, nagse-celebrate na sila kahit konti, and to Head Coach Jimson, that's already a big improvement. So he hopes that they could carry this on in our third set. Back to you guys.
The irony of it all, Eliana, is that everything that they hoped to build on didn't happen in that last exchange and in the last 2 points as well. The energy boost has shifted over to the Navy.
Now they've established a 4-point lead. A while ago, it was Air Force leading by 2. But again, volleyball is also a game of energy.
Yes.
So for the Philippine Navy, they've managed to really man the net well. They've already had 8 kill blocks in this game so far.
Pasok yata.
There was a check ball, one of the players of the Airmen. And now that lead is up at 5 points.
Pabukayin mo na yung tape. Nandito lang lahat ng bigyan mo na ng background agad. Lumalayo na naman. Diba? Kanina, ang score niyan, nasa 4-2, 4-1. Natin sa receive. Ben, trabaho muna tayo sa receive, ha? Ikaw na tinatarget.
Mundog ka na.
Tara. Enjoy lang, enjoy.
I have always been fascinated when coaches, regardless of any sport, enjoy nyo lang. Mahirap mag-enjoy pag medyo behind ka. Eto, they need something here. They need inspiration, actually. the Air Force, that is. The service in play. It becomes a set from Melgar. Oh, graceful glide into the air. That'll count.
That's inside for Abria off that regalo. And I guess for the Philippine Air Force, they only need one impact play to reignite that fire that they've had in set number 2.
Agree.
And hindi mo pwedeng palayuin palalo itong Philippine Navy because in the men's game, malingat ka lang ng konti, magugulat ka, ang layo na nung hahabulin mo.
Lalo na yung sa gitna ng set. Here comes their top gun. But it's out. Apilia shocked, surprised.
He's asking for a check ball.
So don't they all?
Yeah.
Eto na. Humiwalay na yung Navy. 12-7. Antigua with his serve. Just above the net. Mukhang regalo. They're asking for a call. They don't get it. Becomes a set. Reverse. They get it from a different way.
Head coach of the Philippine Air Force contesting that non-call. But nonetheless, they still get that point.
Justice serve. They wanted a bit of double contact ba? Mukhang parang lift eh.
Yeah, parang lifting violation. But again, even if they contest in the middle of the rally, hindi naman yun ina-honor ng mga referees. So they really have to focus until matapos yung point na yun before they actually make their clarifications to the referees.
In play. Regalo? Hindi. Buhay pa! Hindi nakita ni Villanueva. O ni Marcelino. Hindi niya nakita sa likod niya.
Good coverage actually. 2 deflections from the Philippine Air Force. Coverage was there. But on the 3rd try, he was asking for someone to pick up that second ball kasi tama naman. He was going to approach for another attempt on the attack.
Looked long, but they manage it. Neatly done.
That's back-to-back points for the Airmen. The good thing about veterans naman is that kahit gaano kalayo yung lamang, they would find a way to chip on that lead until within striking distance.
Kasi binablakan ka, pinapababa mo yung bola bago paluin. Paluin mo na sa taas. Mabagal yung palo through eh.
Okay, lamang pa tayo dalawa, pasa ulit, pasa.
Lamang tayo dalawa. Unahin natin sa pasa, ha? Ha? Para makuha ko yung blocker. Lamang tayo.
Oh, one good pass. Wala nang cover doon, no?
Let's go! Baby!
There are different versions, in one good pass. You hear it from Shaq de Los Santos, you hear it from Sherwin Meneses, you hear it from Dante Alinsunurin. Oh, sige, basta, one good pass.
But itong phrase na one good pass, it's very simple.
Naman.
Pero sobrang daming connected na skill set.
Exactly. And during the time, as the players are perspiring, their hearts are thumping, one simple instruction is all they need to get back into the groove, so to speak. Oh, neatly done, but it's on the floor. It's on the floor. That's close, but it's on the floor. I'll have to agree with the refs here.
Maybe from a different angle, it looked like it was a good pancake save. And going back to our discussion about that one good pass, I like that timeout because I heard someone say, bigyan niyo ako ng magandang pasa para makakuha ko ng single blocker.
That might have been Suarez, you know.
It was the setter, and that's another unforced error on the side of the Philippine Air Force. That was outside, says the line's judge.
The count is 14-10. The Navy creating some separation. A little too long on that one. It'll go to the Air Force. They're within 3.
You know, that's really part of the game. There's no perfect calls talaga. Sometimes without the challenge system, dito medyo magre-rely talaga sa judgment call ng mga linesmen and first and second referees.
And you have to learn to live with it, whether it's for or against you.
Yeah.
Oh!
Jesse Lopez was already in possession. Nag-iba lang ng konti yung direction from that rebound. But it was a good rebound. Mataas yung trajectory ng bola. So siguro, konting sidestep lang, he could have gotten that ball.
He was anticipating it in one direction. Oh, lumihis. 4-point lead. Marcelino serve being tossed around. Oh, good counter. Kalasin.
Jesse Lopez just using speed to his advantage on that quick attack from Kalasin.
Tolentino will serve for the Air Force. They're down currently, that is, by 3. Marcelino got to it. Suarez with the set. Melgar keeping it in play. Had to extend himself. Here comes Abdilia. We've got a furious exchange here. Good dive that time by Jesse Lopez. The cut shot. Tabaclao gets to it.
That violation will be called on the Sea Lions.
They don't know walang challenge. That'll stay. It's a crucial stretch eh. Itong 15, papuntang 20,
Yeah,
always
definitely.
sa akin yan ang big stretch lagi.
And for the Sea Lions, they don't want to lose their focus over 1 point. Although
I agree. Good point.
It still is a valid, alam mo yun, yung pag-contest ng mga teams natin because they put so much importance in every single point.
Adjustment in the air by Villanueva. Abdilia. That's manageable. Right in the path of Dolor. Blocked, but kept in play. Good reach by Tabaclao. Set. Abdilia. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Clean hit from Ranan Abdilia. Now they're just trailing by 1 point. As I said, they slowly chipped on that lead of the Sea Lions. And ngayon na striking distance na sila. They're now pouring out and just throwing everything that they have on the floor.
Jepoy Alicando, number 6, is in for the first time for the Navy. The Navy hanging on to a 1-point lead. Tolentino serve in progress. Suarez with the set. Villanueva is foiled. Balik kay Villanueva. Oh! Crafty move.
Very creative. Using 2 hands for that drop ball. Getting to the second technical timeout first.
Hinga. Sigaw lang kayo kay Owen kung kaya nyo, sigaw nyo si Owen. Ha?
Hinga para makapag-isip.
Tapusin na natin to ho. Wala nang may magbigay. Walang masunak.
Let's go.
We're still close and tight here in the third set. 16-14. Each side has won a set in the first 2 runs. And we're looking at the Navy that just managed to pull away. But their lead has been seriously threatened in the last couple of plays. This is a very good slide.
That was signature Labrador. Now scoring 6 points here in set number 3. He had 2 in the first set, 1 only in the second set. He's been working hard in this third frame.
1-point lead by the Sea Lions. Jesse Lopez, parang libero. The dink. Excellent track down by Bale. Tabaclao in play. Another long exchange here. Abida. Oh, well done. And we're tied.
Philippine Air Force just erasing that 5-point lead of the Sea Lions.
Just like that. Abdilia. Tayo po'y nasa tablang score sa mga sandaling ito. 16 all. Seb Sarmenta, Neil Flores, Rihanna Perlas, your team for today. And it's on the ground.
That's a valid point from the Sea Lions. Lopez too late to get to that first ball.
Para sa libero din to si Jesse. Ano? Sabi niya sa akin, retired na po ako sa national team.
He's also coaching in the PVL.
Is he?
For the Chocomucho Flying Titans.
Ano siya doon?
Assistant coach.
Assistant. Ni Sherwin.
Yes.
No,
Coach Dante.
Ni Coach Dante. Sorry. First time na for Coach Dante to coach a women's team in a long time. Oh, that's nicely angled. What a gritty move. He stared down whoever would block through it.
Ganun talaga yung mga star players ng mga teams eh. Pag dikit na dikit yung laban, that's the time that they would step up.
Yeah, give it to me. I know what to do. I've seen this. It's just complete faith and trust in your talents. We have new faces coming in. This is Padon and number 14, Jairami, who could not enter in the previous set.
Crucial substitution for
Major Balasa. Ito at this stretch. Boy, unbelievable talaga. You just have to be ready each time. You have no idea what your coach might be thinking at any given time. Becomes a set. Double claw is there. Pads. In play. Melgar says, easy over. Perfectly done.
Ito yung labanan na gusto natin makita. Greg Dolores hits going up against the hits of Randan Abilia. And they have very similar styles of play. High elevation. They're also powerful attackers from the back line.
Dabi ng points ni Abilia yata.
18 points already, but he also has 9 excellent receptions and 5 excellent digs. So an all-around performance really. Blocking na lang kulang and serving.
And he piles up some more. He's firing at will here.
Ginaganahan. We're already nearing that 20-point mark.
And if you're the setter, you're going there almost exclusively. Tabla po sa 18. Dolor keeps it afloat. Marcelino nips the line.
Both of these teams know that they're not in a position to actually lose one more game, because if you slide ng 1-5 win-loss record or 1-4, it's going to be really difficult for you to catch up with the rest of the teams, especially if the undefeated teams keep on winning.
Parang ang laki ng separation na ginagawa ng mga undefeated, like yung Iloilo team.
One of the newcomers here, the Spikers Turf. What an entrance.
In the meantime, we are at 19 apiece. And still nobody's set till this moment. In play. Combination. Well done.
Got check time for both of these teams.
Oh, yes, it is.
Philippine Navy getting to their 20th point first.
And Suarez and Villanueva report back in.
Padon going to their best option right there. Marcelino putting it away.
Suarez and his serve. Valentino. Long. And Navy now leads by 2.
And yun din yung mahirap when you're coming off the bench. Wala kang masyadong contact sa bola. So usually yung mga first hits mo, gusto mo lang makuha yung range mo.
Let's, I think, listen into the timeout of the Air Force.
Run, hingi bola. Hingi bola. Hingi bola. Ano play mo? Ito na, play mo na to. Singit sa try. C5 mo na si ano. Pagka nawala ng ano, wala ng receive. Run, run. Run, run.
Okay, pasa lang muna. Huwag yung pala eh.
Isang receive muna. Isang receive tayo. Isang receive.
And you heard that name over and over again in that timeout. Ran Abilia definitely going to ask for this next ball from their setter.
The serve of Suarez being played out. Abilia foiled by the net, and now it's a 3-point lead by the Navy.
Didn't go over for Abilia. Medyo bumuka yung set. That's not the set he's used to. So it was a different approach on that attack. Now this is a 3-point lead, a big lead at this junction of this ball game.
Alam mo, higpit talaga. Mas mahigpit pa kaysa sa immigration talaga pagpasok mo sa volleyball. No? It's very orderly dapat. Just 1-to-1 substitution eh. 1-to-1. Tabuklao. Suarez with a good set. And it hits the post. Air Force comes within 2.
And the airmen know na closing time na for Philippine Navy. So most probably, most of the sets will go to Greg Dolor right now.
Wouldn't you?
But Owen Suarez has to remember that he also has 3 attackers in the front row right now. He has Villanueva. He also has a middle blocker. But he also has Marcelino there in the right wing.
Net touch. Nanggigil.
Wanted to go for that forceful power tip. Couldn't control the arm swing at the end. Just clipping that tape of the net.
Navy 2 points away from taking a 2-1 lead. Outside, however. Marcelino serve. Off target, 2-point lead by the Navy. Ancheta returns. Valentino darts out. Ancheta to serve. Looks long, it is, and we arrive at set point.
Tough error. Caused the error for the side of the Philippine Air Force. And when you're tied at 1 set apiece, yung third set talaga yung pinaka-crucial.
Navy taking the first 25-18. Air Force countering with 26-24. Abdilia hammers that down, brings his team within 2.
No safe lead here. 2 points manageable for the airmen to come back. Now Ranan Abdilia is in the front row. Jesse Lopez also has Abria and Labrador as other options.
Quite a battle we have here. Good set. Captain play by Ancheta. Here's a tight set. It is blocked. They reset. The cut. The Buklao. Suarez lobs it high. Oh!
Greg Dolor with a powerful finish to give PGJC Navy a 2-1 advantage against the Philippine Air Force. There were a lot of soft hits in transition. Pabalik sa side ng Sea Lions, and Greg Dolor just put a stop to that long rally.
And we will have the 4th set ready for you. Will the Navy seal the deal in that 4th, or will there be a reply from the Air Force? Abangan. You know, that third set could have gone either way. The Air Force had the early lead, but a swift response by the Sea Lions altered the destiny of that third set.
Again, it was a nip and tuck affair, just like set number 2. Attacks were a bit even. Defense also on the same page for both of these teams. Pero makikita natin later that it was really the unforced errors of Philippine Air Force na nagbigay sa Philippine Navy nung set number 3.
And now the Navy with a 2-1 lead. They took the first, they took the third. Air Force with a reply in that nail-biter of a second at 26-24. Look at some of the numbers from set number 3.
Air Force actually edged out Navy by a single point in the attacks department. Kabaliktaran naman sa blocking department. Navy edged out Air Force just by 1 point. But the 7 errors, crucial din yung timing nung ilan dyan eh. That's why
when it happens, no?
Navy won that set number 3. But Philippine Air Force still pretty much in this game. They can come back and extend this one to a 5th frame.
And your kind of day, Neil Flores. It's been your kind of weekend. Merong ganong panahon. As we welcome you again to the Spikers Turf here in Paco, Manila. We are playing out our 2023 Open Conference. Seb Sarmenta, Neil Flores, Eliana Perlas with us here today. And still to come, BNS is going to play Signal. Signal undefeated in 4 starts. BNS trying to stay in the hunt for a spot in the next round. Regalo kept in play. Suarez makes it a set. Marcelino unloads. Marcelino keeps it in play. Suarez goes to the pipe. Nice twisting shot. Abdilia tracks it down. Oh, nagauntugan. Good play. You know it was coming.
Yeah, it was really coming. That low fast C set papunta kay Marcelino. Marcelino not waiting for the middle blocker of the airmen to close up. Hitting that ball instantly. Bilis ng wrist action eh.
Oh, good counter.
Same attack and same result for the Philippine Air Force.
Our score is knotted together at 1. Lopez's serve in play. Here comes Suarez and his set. They go to the pipe. It is rejected. Lopez with a hand on it. And simply overwhelming the defense there is Villanueva.
And usually, yung mga regalo here in the men's division, mga 90% sure point na yan pag naipalo.
Oo. Diniinan ni Dodong Villanueva. Ito na si Christian Marcelino. Itinaas. Back row. Tabuklao is there. Oh, Melgar, hands not in place.
For the Philippine Navy, they have to continue building on this lead. They can't let Air Force erase their lead just like set number 3. Because we know na pag down ka na 2-1 and you end up winning the 4th and you're successful in extending it to the 5th, you have a big advantage coming into that deciding set.
Our second referee Paredes, spotted the net violation. 3-2 count. Navy slightly up. Edwin Tolentino will be serving for all of us. In play, Tabuklao, and the regalo is quickly pounds the pond by the top gun.
Overpass, easy point for Ranan Abdilia, nearing that 20-point mark already.
Yeah. Kailangan mauso talaga yung regalo. Italian, in Italian, it's the same thing. And libero is Italian. Pauso natin. Well, the Americans, they like to call it overpass.
Overpass.
4-3 count. The serve in play. That's out.
Abdilia overshooting the mark this time.
Alejandro with his serve. Melgar was there. Here's the combination. It's thwarted, but it bounces out. Air Force comes within 1 point. They're down in the set count, 2-1. We've got Ralph Calasin all set to do service duties. Down the middle we go. Into the back route. Tabuklao, that's still playable. Tabuklao says, let's send it over nicely. Combination, blocked. Oh, and finally, a big delivery by Air Force. Tabuklao out of position there.
Ranan Abdilia just loving that point. He was saying, double block, no problem.
Double up po tayo sa 5. Calasin serve. Marcelino with a gentle dig. Into Dolores area, but no hands.
And now they overtake the Philippine Navy.
One-point lead by the Airmen. Umiingay na. Diyan na siguro ang signal. Gugulo itong mga to.
Looking to extend their winning streak to 5.
Yeah.
And VNS also looking to maintain their momentum. They actually won against the Philippine Air Force in 4 sets.
And now look at this. We're tied anew as that strike went into the spot of 2 diggers who found no gold in that particular attempt. We're tied at 6 in the 4th. Sails down. Melgar keeps it afloat. Here comes the attack. Navy asking for a call. Tabuklao tireless. Dolor. Back row. Tabuklao. They keep it at the net. That's the way to play it. The quick. Open spot. Excellent energy by both sides nonetheless.
Dolor asking for no block touch in that last rally. But again, kita-kita ng first referee na kahit konti lang kasi yung tumama sa kamay ng blocker, that will be considered a valid touch.
Yep. Oh, wasted serve. No energy, no direction in that particular try. I think he was eyeing the target and lost eye contact with the ball. 7-all.
You have to remember that they committed 7 unforced errors in set number 2. And merong mga parts na crucial yung service error on the side of the Airmen. So they really can't afford to make the same mistakes.
And it's a free ball to the other side. Here comes the attack by the relentless Marcelino. Christian propels Navy to the first technical timeout mark. We're going to leave you with a score of 8-7, but be back quickly.
Dito mo na. Ang nangyayari, pre, ang bola na out of system na, nandito na. Wala na, ginawa na ng paraan. Win. Out of dito ang spiker, oh. Huwag kayo magbibigay dito, blind pass yan. Di ba? Tingnan mo, nangyari, may kumuha ba? Kung binigay mo kay Love dito, pwede pa yan. Kung dito naman nakuha, dito rin yung bola. Para nakikita nila yung spiker. Nakikita ng spiker yung bola. Ha? O, isa lang, oh. Pasa lang. Pasa muna tayo. Kaya service, trabaho tayo.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. Isa lang ang hiniling ni Head Coach Cecil Cruzada sa Navy Sea Lions. Kailangan daw nilang maging mas mayabang sa set na ito. With them being boastful, with their egos up there, the more they are able to close their games, the more they are able to end their games and finish them. A big problem for the Navy Sea Lions is that when the game gets pressuring, they let go too easily. Kaya naman for this set, yabang lang ang kailangan ni Head Coach Cecil. Back to you, 7-Neil.
And I'm sure it's yabang in the right way, Ayana. And that shot is out. 9-7. I'm sure Coach Cecil wants confidence, a swag, trust in yourself in our system.
And yung yabang na tinutukoy nga ni Coach Cecil, it's more on really the confidence that you were saying to get the points every single time.
Of course, in the timeout, it sounds more practical to say, pwede. Pwede. Ako sobra. Hindi, pwede. 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 Natalo sa palitan.
We have to give credit to the libero of the Sea Lions. He's sweeping the floor in this game. Tabuklao doing a good job manning the backcourt. Now they're up by 3 points.
You like the energy of keeping it alive. Kahit hindi inabutan it, there was that spirit. That's what you're after. Navy now moves ahead by 3.
No momentum ang pwedeng mabuo for the side of the Philippine Navy, sabi ng Philippine Air Force after that quick attack from Abria. Now, top 2 scorers for the Philippine Navy, Greg Dolor with 20 points, Marcelino with 13 points, and for the Air Force, it's Abdilia with 23, followed by Tolentino with 13. Great rebound from the Airmen.
Lopez sets it. Oh, clean hit.
You see how impactful these rebounds are. Yung mapabagal mo ng husto yung bola so that everybody can get a good approach on that attack.
The key is to whether the libero, most especially the libero, iabot yung bola sa setter. And some breaks are also welcome and helpful. We're tied at 10 in the 4th.
Point number 24 for Abdilia.
The Sandman, their top gun, Tabuklao, has been tireless. Marcelino's shot, look at that, it's spinning. Good set. Oh, malakas lang. Hindi na baon, open yung palo.
Air Force again getting a 1-point lead.
Hindi na pitik-nitig. Kung sa tennis yun, flat na flat yung palo. 1-point lead by the Airman. Loaded serve in play. Bawing-bawi. And Tig enjoying that, relishing that.
So much control in that pass from the side spin na jump serve ni Ran Abdilia.
Tabla po sa 11. If you're just joining us, it's a 2-1 lead by the Sea Lions of the Navy. Melgar. Easily handled by Dolor. Suarez with the set. Marcelino hits it at the top of the ball, and you can tell from the sound it wasn't going anywhere.
Definitely a miss hit from Marcelino. Wanted to go above the blockers, pero nabitin lang yung wrist action.
And so much to think about, when we're asked, you could hit it cleanly, but can't blame him. Suarez reverses. Firepower!
And ang dami rin iniisip ng mga attackers every time they go up for an attack. Sisilip muna sila kung saan yung empty spot. Titingnan nila kung sino yung mga blockers na nasa harapan.
They're like drones, actually.
Great battle also between our setters. Both Suarez and Lopez have 20 excellent sets already.
Wow, that's a lot.
2 points each also.
Tabuklao couldn't handle the hot volleyball on the back row. No way diminishes his good performance here today as Jesse Lopez serves. Dolor snaps it high. Because one-handed set.
That's the tendency for one-handed sets. Usually sumasabay yung middle blockers because they think na gagawing 1-2 dump ball. And when that happens, wala nang blockers for that quick attack.
Excellent decoy there. We're tied at 13. This is clear as day. 1-point lead by the Air Force. What is the call? It's a check ball.
They're claiming that it hit the floor first before it hit the hands of the libero of the Sea Lions. But still, this point will go to the Philippine Air Force. They're leading by 1.
14-13 in the fourth. Into the hands of Marcelino. That is wicked.
It's about who wants it more. Tied at 14. Oh, a lot of deadlocks here in set number 4. And after that first set, parang nag-level up lang din talaga yung nung gameplay ng dalawang teams natin.
Oy, kitang-kita. Nabutasan ng Navy. Air Force by 1. Calasin serve. Marcelino hoists it high. Dolor. He loves doing that.
Doesn't matter if it's an out-of-system play for Greg Dolor or a perfect C-set. Kumbaga, magaling mag-adjust, and that's
yung galing
a sign of a great player.
Magbasa ng daloy nung kabilang side. It's almost like taking pictures and making decisions in an instant. Tabuklao keeps it in play. Tabuklao keeps it in play. Dolor keeps it out of the play. And we arrive at the second technical timeout. The Navy grabs the upper hand, 16-15.
Bibitawan ha. Mag-iisahan tayo. Presence of mind tayo. Presence of mind tayo. Ha? Tingnan natin kung sino yung binablock natin. Naka-pattern naman yung blocking eh. Diba? Ang problema nga lang, yun talaga, kung may space, doon kayo pumunta sa depensa. Okay? Tara, Jess. Diretso, receive kagad.
We have you back with us here at the Paco Arena. Take a look at that last play. Wow, look at that full extension.
Yeah. That leap, and medyo pahiga na nga yung attack ni Greg Dolor, but still got that point.
1-point lead by the Sea Lions. That looks wide.
And Navy really has that ability to establish a lead, but somewhere along the road, nawawala yung lead. So they really need to be consistent from this point on. We're nearing that 20-point mark already. Crucial stages of closing out the game. And again, ibang usapan ang panapos. Yan yung sinasabi ng mga coaches natin.
That's the end zone, so to speak. That's 2 in a row. Nanggigigil siya.
Back-to-back errors. And of course, he does want to get their momentum back. But that's back-to-back attack errors for the Airmen. And
yeah, Coach Merza was hoping to get a call, just anything at this point, but he decided let's call a timeout and talk this over.
Yeah, what's up na? Galing sa 16-15, no? Tara tayo.
Pasa ulit, pasa pa rin.
Pasa lang, nawawala tayo sa pase. Ha? Akuin na natin. Ban, pag may chance, banat ng banat.
18-15 is the current count, and the Navy threatening to ice this for their second win in the tournament. In play. Nice job by Tabuklao. The hook, Tolentino is right there. Lopez reverses. Everybody yelling. Dolores shot neutralized. High up. Look at them fly, fly, fly. Tabuklao is all over the floor. Dolor, and it does not cross over finally as the Air Force takes that.
Renz Melgar not allowing Greg Dolor to score the point for the Sea Lions. Excellent defense being shown to us by Tabuklao and Melgar.
Yes, they are. The liberos performing extremely well. Keep in mind, the Navy has won only once in 4 games. The Air Force once in 5. So that 4th spot, you made such a great point, Neil, because look at this. The Navigators are at 4-0, Signal 4-0, Imus ITP at 4-1. Cotabato has not also lost. Dolor makes the connection.
And the top teams, Cotabato, Iloilo, and you actually won't have any matches until March.
Ganon din ang Cotabato.
Because some of their players are part of the national team that is in Taiwan right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Kumakain sila. Kaingit, ano? 1916. You know naman the food in Taiwan. Ooh, Tabuklao. Pocket dynamite. Marcelino.
Ooh, miscommunication. Crucial between Melgar and Abdillah.
Bryle Tabuklao has been a source of strength for the Navy.
Philippine Navy starting to pull away, just needing 5 points
to ice it,
to get win number 2 here in the Spikers turf.
And they waste the serve. Dolor apologizes. (20-17). Abdilia will serve. Wicked serve by Ran. Marcelino's counter brings them to 21.
Marcelino stepping up to the plate. Probably as the closer for the Sea Lions if they end up winning this game.
And Tig will be serving. And it's wasted.
2 unforced errors on the line in the past few sequences for the Sea Lions coach Cecil. Definitely not happy.
Tatatakbuhin niya ito bukas. Ay, tanong mangyari dito. 21-18. Tabuklao. Oh, looked like an overpass. Tabuklao softens it. On 2 we go. Oh, talo sa palitan. Nanggigil si Suarez.
Suarez just got too excited to put that ball away. And ang sinasabi nga ni Coach Cecil, kailangan natin daanin sa 3 touches. You need to be very patient in running your counter-attack.
Libre kasi si Marcelino din sa kabila. And no blockers on that side. It's in the air but playable. In play, and it falls away. Delivered upon by Alicando.
Putting it away. They're just 3 points away from closing it out. Pero parang ang layo pa, no?
Parang kung nasa dagat sila, ang layo pa ng lupa.
Still 3 points, and for the Philippine Air Force, 3 to tie.
May net touch. Double contact
on the setter, De Ocampo. Double substitution not working for the Airmen.
23-19.
Full front line this time for Owen Suarez and the rest of the Sea Lions, Villanueva, Marcelino, and Alicando.
Oh, these Lions are barking here today. Playing too close to the net. Jesse adjusts. It goes through two blockers. 23-20.
Ever reliable Edwin Tolentino on the attack for the Airmen.
Again, the first set going the way of the Navy. Air Force the second. Gentle touch, Alicando pushes it high. It becomes a set. They fight to keep it in play. Tabuklao, alanganin. Referee trying to... It happened in front of him.
It happened so fast.
Yeah, it happened in front of him. Wait. Sabi niya.
He had to make the right decision in this rally.
He did not point eh.
So ang tanong, sino yung huling nakahawak dun sa bola before it went out of bounds? Who won that joust? And that is the correct call. Based on this angle, it was definitely a point for PGJC Navy. Binrush out nila palabas ng double block ng Philippine Air Force.
And they arrive at match point. It was a good piece of officiating because if you're not sure, ask the other side. I remember in the VNL there is such a thing as a referee's discretion for the challenge. If you're not sure. I remember the Korean referee, the lady would make that decision. Here's a bullet. It's neutralized. Oh! Big win by the Navy.
Greg Dolor finishing it for PGJC Navy, and they notch win number 2. An emphatic kill block to end this match.
Air Force had their chances, but when the crucial points